It was 3 p.m. when the Legis doctor, Dr. George Ellis, finished what he could say so far on the crime. After gathering some evidences, they headed to their office to start studying the case.
Dr. Ellis mentioned that the victims were in their 20s. They were tortured here until they eventually died from blood loss. Now, we couldn't ID the victims as their faces are totally unrecognizable, but he is running some scans and tests in order to find DNA that could link us to the victim's identity, and maybe even the killers. It is suggested that the victims struggled due to so many bruises and marks on their wrists, neck, and ankles.
Carver was heading to their whiteboard and picked up a marker.
He also said the crime might have occurred today between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m.
He paused while writing some notes on it.
The bodies were discovered by a couple at 1 p.m. They're now being held for interrogations.
He faced his teammates and continued to talk.
We need further information, so we're going to start to identify the victims, where they were last seen, who could be linked to them, and we also need to interrogate the couple. Gore, you take care of the ID. Talk to anyone you can find. Someone's got to know something. Aiken, you're on interrogation.
Lael replied with a confident nod and rose up, getting ready for the interrogation.
I'll pay a visit to forensics. See if they have any news.
He was starting to walk towards the exit when he stopped by the wrath expression on Ruskin's face.
Oh, and Ruskin. Do whatever you feel like to contribute to the case. Any questions?
He asked, although not giving much time to reply as he walked towards the exit. No one had anyway. Ace Ruskin smirked and dragged himself next to Lael Aiken, who was already finished with the preparations.
Can I tag along? It seems I still need to learn how to properly interrogate people.
He pointed his finger to the bite left on his nose. Lael looked to him and shrugged, accepting his request.
He's quite clingy. He was really telling the truth when he said he wanted me to show him the ropes.
Lael sighed before looking at him and pointing his head towards the exit, indicating him that they were leaving. They had to interrogate the couple in the new department, as that one was old and would be destroyed in a few months. It was a bit tiring because they had to constantly be moving between the two departments, which were 20 minutes apart. They still had a lot of things in the old department to be moved to the new one, and some that wouldn't be moved at all. As both of them left the building, Lael was walking towards his car when Ace waved a hand and halted.
Hey, let's go in mine instead,
he said, pushing Lael towards the direction he was walking. Lael sighed again and did what he said. He frowned when they got into the BMW.
Are you driving?
Ace looked at him and smirked.
No, but you will.
He tossed the keys towards Lael, who caught them with his left hand. He was opening his mouth when Ace continued.
Oh, don't worry. Lucas won't mind that I've switched him temporarily.
He grinned and sat on the passenger side. Lael omitted another sigh and rolled his eyes mentally.
He has got some nerves. Now I'm supposed to be his driver? What then? His babysitter?
He thought while sitting in the car, turning on the engine. He started to drive. For 5 minutes, they didn't talk. Lael cleared his throat and opened his mouth.
So are you gonna ask me more about me?
Ace cut it, looking to him.
And could you stop with the sighing? It's getting annoying to be judged all the time.
Sorry. I didn't mean to...
I know you didn't.
Lael looked at him back, closed his mouth and sighed.
He's like a chameleon. He's always changing, while trying to fit in somewhere. Everyone notices that he doesn't quite fit in, though.
Lael gathered some of his self-control and didn't sigh again. He never knew how Ace would react. Lael was starting to develop some pity on him. Pity is the worst feeling to develop to someone, according to Lael, A few more seconds of silence passed.
I heard you lost your memories.
Ace bluntly said, with an inexpressive face, although his voice had a hint of curiosity.
Yeah? Well, it's true.
Lael shrugged, not giving importance to it. He was getting used to people asking him that. Ace touched his bitten nose and made a face.
How?
Apparently, I lost my memories because I hit my head on a rock or something.
Lael knew what reaction he would expect after. Lael squinted for a brief moment and then smiled. It was the first time he actually saw Ace have a pure and true reaction like that. He also looked as his age.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't really expecting to hear that.
Not everything is a script where you just stick to it, following it without having the surprise element. But it's fine. I'm used to that reaction. I guess it's the normal reaction.
Yeah, you're right, you know. Although normal doesn't really apply to me.
Lael looked at him. Ace looked like he had dropped off his mask and behaved like a normal teenager again.
I guess despite your normal behavior, you probably are a good kid.
The older detective said as he stopped the car in a red sign.
Oh, cut the crap. I'm neither good nor a kid.
Ace smirked, his eyes mirroring fire.
Well, if you weren't good, then you wouldn't be helping us, right? Nor whoever hired you would choose you.
That's probably the pragmatic way of thinking. Or else the logical way of thinking.
Ace looked at the road, pointing at the green light. Lael accelerated and continued to drive towards their location.
A good person helps others. He wants to help others, therefore he's a good person. Isn't it?
Aiken looked at him with an inexpressive face, which made Ruskin tilt his head.
But then again, not everything is that simple. Not everything is normal, and not everything is what you think it is.
His eyes fixed on Lael. His overall countenance made him look older and threatening. But Lael did not hold back.
Why are you telling me this?
Because... isn't it common sense?
Lael fought himself back so he wouldn't punch the guy. He stood in silence for a brief moment before speaking again.
Why did you decide to come with me?
I already told you.
Yeah. But now, the truth this time...
Lael glared at him with the same fire in his eyes, which made Ruskin recoil a bit. Even if it wasn't really perceptive, he blinked sometimes before replying.
You kind of resemble someone I knew.
His face was also blank. Lael's head started to hurt for a bit. He had a feeling of deja vu. He had the feeling he had said that before. Lael shook his head mentally.
Yeah, it's a common phrase. I probably have said that so many times that I end up feeling like I'm already saying this again.
He thought, although he knew that wasn't the case.
Well, you don't. Are you going to answer me? After all, you said that you were going to be my right arm, right?
All right. When we get there, you will know the truth.